Hey people, it's Broken Puppet, and this is how to draw an old school lantern. Enjoy. Right people, how to draw an old school lantern. To get this one, start off with, get yourself a nice rectangle shape. I like to have the sides slightly going a bit wider. So imagine this line here is slightly shorter than this, so this one's longer. Ever so slightly. So you don't just bring down a slight diagonal line. About the same sort of drop on both sides. A little one just on the side of there. Then you want to bring a straight line up, just a bit more curved than what this line is. So let's get this line straight first, the way I want it. Yeah, on that line, roughly along that sort of edge. This one, it's going to come out like so. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Like so. Just next to it, you want to do like a parallel line. Just that. Just on that one. That one. And that one there. Now come off the edge of this, just come this out just a little bit wider. I like to make it slightly curved. Bring this line in. Slightly curved. Straight line across. Slightly curved there. Come on, just a little bit wider. Off top of that, just come up straight. Into a curve. Not quite touching your line, just a little bit before it. Curve out. And then down into that line, like so. And do the same sort of thing here, but this one's going to be kind of double-sided, so we're going to curve up, into it, full circle, curve down, curve into it. Same on this bit. And as you guessed, same on this bit. Get them roughly about even and get the angles about the same sort of distance. Like so. Let's bring a circular curve coming up. Going around, getting this highest point in the middle, so it's nice and even. And curving down to the same point on the other side. Like so. Bring up a curved line from each one of these points, just to that centre. Like so. And then another curve just on top. Like so. Curve this one inwards. Yeah. Into the ring on top. At the bottom, the same thing we've done here, so slight curve, slight curve, slight curve, slight curve. Bring the lines across. So you see, just spin up a little platform just underneath there. For this one, I'm going to bring a second one just underneath. So pretty much mimicking that top, just slightly smaller. Circle shape underneath that. Circle under that. Circle under that. That's the basic structure. What I will do is add a rose here, a rose there. I'll do a candle in the middle, so you can have like a rectangle bit for the candle, circle, and then just curve that to one side and curve that back around. That's going to be roughly where the flame is. So for now, grab me a Sharpie because this is old school and it's nice and bold. straight edge. Just filling all this line work. There we go. So this bit is pretty straightforward, you're just filling in all those lines we've just done. As per usual, I'm being pretty quick at this, you know, take your time. Don't feel like you have to go the same speed as I'm going, you know. Thinking of doing these designs as a book, you know, I'll do like sets of 50 of them. If that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. Anyone there if the demand's there for it. I think that'd be cool because you guys can actually have like a proper copy of. Oh, that's a horrible circle. Like a copy of all the designs, so when you guys do the tutorials, you can have a hard copy to work from. Alright, I'm going to do the candle, but I'm going to do the candle in a different colour, I think, when I do that, so I'll do that afterwards. But first, I'm going to do the roses. It's kind of like a standard kind of way I do them. I've seen a tutorial for this one recently, I'll slightly modify it. Basically just bringing the V and bringing in all the petals. Bring this line around to make the base. And then bring the petals up around the outside. So like I said, I have got a tutorial for these kind of roses, you know, done recently. If you want to quick check that out, you can. Like, just pause this, open a new window, check out that one. It seems kind of pointless doubling up, you know, talking through them. So we get that's the roses. This flame. Red so just went around that circle and just made that curved edge. Real simple flame, this one. Really typical old school. Just 2 loops. That one coloured in. This one in orange. Just bring this up like the little wax drops, so just curve. So you basically have like curved edge, bring it down to a curve to a point. A few little wax strips just to show that it's candle. You know, a little bit wants to colour in the section bit there, but I just want it to look like it's inside and glowing, while the rest is like kind of bold and matte. Rub out all that line work. You can use paints, pencils, markers for this. I'm just going to use my trusty markers as usual. Let's start with, just going to bring up this black just around these 2 bits here on the outside. Working the grey just around the edge. Now I always use the side to side motion. These are just Winsor & Newton brush markers. You know, same technique applies to water paints, acrylics, you know. A nice watered down side to side motion will just give you a really smooth finish. You know, rather than flicking out. Just build your shades out. Like so. Your shadow just in the middle. So it's going to do a black block just in the centre. And then the greys on the side. You probably heard me say before, you know, plenty of times, you know, when it comes to old school, you have to use lots of black. You know, it's really a key. You know, not every design calls for it, but you know, you have to be prepared to use that pitch black to really get the right feel. You know, I see a lot of designs in there sort of like way too light for old school. You know, don't be afraid to use it. Just gonna flick some black. And so when it's a small area like this, you can flick. You know, it doesn't make too much difference. Especially when you're from the black to the darkest grey, because they're quite close in colour, so it doesn't make too much difference. Just keep blending that out across there. Like so. Black. I'm going to have black coming down from the top and black up from the bottom for each of these. Into the slightly darker grey first. So like I said, just keep flicking it. When it's like long thin areas you can flick. You know, it doesn't make no difference. But when it's long areas are coming across downwards like that, you really do need to go side to side. Slowly see it starting to take shape now. Just gonna have little black shades come up the center of these. So and body out around it. People. So just keep blending out this bottom part. Like so. Let's do this little top section just here. You can do the shades come from the side if you want. I don't know, I quite like, always do like doing the centre shade. It's what happens when you get light coming from this side and this side. That's where the concept for centre shade comes from. Shading this bit off on the bottom. A little highlight just that. Shade around the bottom of this, and I'll shade down from the top, I think. This ring bit isn't necessary. You can have like a little ornamental, ornamental top if you want, or something, or just come to a stop. A lot of time these kind of lanterns don't really have that, but it's what I always add on it. I like it. Cool. So let's add that and that. Sharp used on my leaves, just quickly at these lines. If you struggle doing parallel lines, literally just get a couple of bits of plain paper and just fill the entire paper up with parallel lines. You'll start off crappy, but I guarantee by the time you've got through 2 or 3 bits of paper, your parallel lines will be a million times better. There's no substitute for practice. The more you practice, the better you get. Simple as. Just going to black at the bottom of these. Blend that out. Like so. I'm going to come in. Colour, what I'll probably do is have show it fading from the inside outwards. Yeah, I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to colour in the gaps in between in yellow. There's lots of different ways you can do the colour here, it's just one option. Start with yellow, and if you want you can just leave it yellow, you don't have to do anything else to it, but if you want to, what I'm going to do here, grab me a blender, do your blending trick with markers, roll that to the tip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep working side to side, going backwards. And eventually the colour will come through like like so. So it's basically just clear coat, just dilutes it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that bit will just dry and go see-through. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you can have like that where that's come down, coming up, down, and this bit sort of like see-through if you want, or you can have like, you know, a bit of orange coming off the edges so you've got more of a circular feel. I kind of like how that's looking. So I'm going to leave that one like that. That's what we do. Colouring erasers, and then we'll decide what colours to use throughout the lantern. Just going to colour these bits in red and just leave a little white highlight on the edge of the petals. So I'm just going to colour in black and leave a little highlight. Colour in these with some green. Now, if there's ever a colour you're not sure about, just colour in the bits you are sure about, and then the colours will just come to you. Like now I can see the colours forming around it. I'm getting a better idea of what I want to do in the centre. I mean, normally I generally do, but if you're stuck, it does help. Do a blue centre on these ones just to be a bit different. Bit of orange. Excuse me. That was really bad. Came out of nowhere. Cannot believe I've actually just done that. Cool, yeah, I'm thinking brown. So I'm going to work my light brown. Sort of test how it goes. How close I want to get to the edge. Want to go all the way. Yeah, I think I got all the way. Sometimes it looks good with a white highlight, sometimes I prefer to just have it bold. So come in with that, and then darken it out. Now to answer a few questions, a question that I get asked quite often, and that's, they say, like, if you're going to colour in over the shading, why do the shading? Why not just do it with the colour? Sometimes it helps build it up, like you see with the black and the grey, it helps me with my gradient, and then when I do the gradient with the browns, it just makes it extra super smooth. And if you want to get that super smooth finish, that's what you need to do. Blue. Now one do for this bit. And the yellow. And what I don't want is this yellow getting lost in with that flame. I want a slight difference. So what I've done, with the flame bit, I've done yellow with orange. So what I'm going to do here is just flick in a slight bit of brown, just so it's got a different hint of colour to it. It's a very, very small thing, but it does make a lot of difference. Then what I'm doing is just going to add some pattern work. Where'd my Sharpie go? Wrong Sharpie. So once you've got that, your basic sort of colouring, you can decide if you want to add pattern work. So like here, if I want to do. Some nice little swells up there. Nothing too crazy. A bit in there. A bit there. That work going through the centre. Again, I'm being pretty quick with this. You can take your time and make it a bit more neater, a bit more accurate. Is there anything else I would like to add? Maybe this bit red. Maybe these bits red. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I want a bit of contrast in there. Like so. I'm just adding this black line, literally just keeping the same distance away from the design and just going the whole way around it. It's just one little thing you can add just next to it. It's not necessary, but it does look good. Just don't bloody go over little edge bits there because it ruins it. This is what happens when you don't take your time. If it was me, I'd probably spend like 10 times longer on this bit, making sure this is 100% accurate. I don't know if I was doing this as like a proper professional design that was going to do prints or tattoo. It's like so. Voila, there you have it. How to do an old school lantern. I hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, yada yada yada. I'm the Broken Puppet, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.